Okay, back out on this Zanotti unit. That's that little coiled up capillary we've got to change. Let's put this here. The inlet is on that pipe there, so that's fairly easy. But the outlet is around here. It's into here. Now I'm not 100% convinced that we can get the old one out. I might heat it up and pull the old one out and see how we do. I'm concerned about putting the new one in, brazing it up and then plugging the hole up in the end. But I think we just might have to pull it out and see how it goes. There's probably a bit of flexibility. We can probably prise that away a bit from there. But there's not a lot of room in there really. It's right by the roof, right in the corner. I should have just told him to buy a new one. I think I'm starting to think it wasn't such a good idea. If this was over the other side of the room, it'd be fairly easy. Anyway, we've dug a hole and we're in it, so we better either keep digging. We're here now. That's the new one. You'd think you'd have some tape over the ends, but nope. Anyway, yeah. I think the other one I just cut it and then feed it up the length that way. I don't know if it makes any difference. It's feeding pointed downwards. I think that might be easy to braze in if I do it that way. The other idea was to plug this up, cut a T into there, and then feed the capillary upwards, and then tee the hot gas pipe in from the side. So I might think about doing that. Okay, got that cut out. Don't know, because you think the blockage would be near the start, but I have been caught out before. You think, oh, I'll just chop a few inches off and it's been somewhere else. Anyway, so we've done that. I'll get a bit of tape put over that pipe. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there yet. I might just cut that back here and braze the end up. And then, like I say, I might tee into it down here. That goes to show I've just cut that end with some snips. I don't know if the camera's picking up, but you can hear it hissing. It's about 1 or 2 psi in the system. So that shows that is blocked because we've got pressure here and nothing like this come out this end. Okay, I've got the capillary pulled out of there. I think you can see there's quite a big hole in there, so I think if we poke enough of it up, get it right near this bend, we shouldn't plug it up. Okay, I got that coiled up round a map gas bowl because it's about the same size, and then I've just wound it on there like a spring. So yeah, I just need to get the two ends stuffed in and brazed in. I don't know if I didn't get a dryer for it because the dryers are usually really expensive. I thought I'd just put a normal one in there, but it's up there. I might have one of these copper ones. Probably a good idea to change that as well. If it's had shit in there that's blocking up, probably a good idea to change that. It might even be the dryer that's breaking up. So we ought to change that. Okay, we've got that brazed in. It's gone right at the top. I can't quite see around the side of the bigger pipe. But I think we haven't touched that, so I'm hoping that was alright. Anyway, get the other end done and put some nitrogen in there. Okay, that's the other one done. I keep a lot of these dusters, cotton dusters, in a little bucket with some water, and they're good for just draping about. Even if you don't think you're going to point the torch there, you might end up doing it, so I just put that there to protect the cable on the fan motor. Because sometimes you'll have the flame against the pipe, so you're heating that up. And if you're dead square on, the flame will sort of go round it. But if you're off centre slightly, it will curve the flame around, the heat will go off in that sort of direction. If you're not careful, you'll end up melting something. That's not even where you're looking. Anyway, hopefully we've got that one. Just cut the end off that dryer, because it's quite rattly, so I wonder whether the beads have been rubbing together, and I can only just about blow through it, so I think that's blocked up as well. I might cut it again there and have a look at the other side of that screen. So it's probably a good job we did change that. Okay, that's that filter or screen. If you look up to it, I don't know if you can see that or not. There's hardly any daylight coming through it. Okay, I can't see the viewfinder, but I can actually see through it now. I've just blasted it out with a bit of brake cleaner. So yeah, it's full of shit. It's these little beads. Yeah, they've probably been rattling about in there and wearing away, making a powder. Okay, I've got all that back together. It's been on pressure test. We're on vacuum. Vacuuming now is quite slow coming down. I think there's quite a bit of gas dissolved in the compressor. I probably should have run it up and got the compressor warm before we started, because you could hear the gas bubbling out of the oil when we were brazing. Anyway, that's all back together. I've put a cable tie around here to stop that pinging off of there, because I couldn't get it as tight as it was originally. I've put cable ties where I think they all need to go. Fan goes around, doesn't catch on anything. That's all sort of tidied up. So I've got the drain line heater, which has to go in the drain pan, go down there, and we've got that supply there which goes to the light fitting, so that's got to be fed through that side panel. And then there's one screw at the top, I think up there. I think there was one down the bottom. I've got this ratcheting screwdriver, Facum, what's it, 60, is that 65 PE or something like that. It does 1/4 inch bits and the 5/16 ones, but it'll also fit 1/4 inch nuts and 8mm nuts. So that's handy for getting in places like that, because you probably wouldn't even get in there with a stubby screwdriver. Anyway, let's get the side panels, we'll get this all put back together. I think I've been over enthusiastic with the cable ties because the cable for the light doesn't reach anymore. So I think I'll have to cut that cable tie loose and get a bit more length on there. Okay, I've had this running, I'll just put it onto hot gas defrost. Remember before it was only icing up the top half or third of the coil. It's still quite damp in here. The room's, I mean, it's dried a bit now, but we had actual drips of water on the ceiling when I started in here, so working a lot better than it was, but still not 100%. Anyway, yeah, it's warming up nice. Yeah, it's been running a while now, probably half an hour. That's sweating back. It's down to 6. I think the set point might actually be 6. See if it turns up in a minute. It's running about 20, it's just turned off 24 psi on the suction. Let's have a look in here. How does that coil look? Yeah, that's iced up all over. Before it was a solid block at the top, if you remember. Well, I think I'm going to call that a success. Right, I've just put the set point down. It gone off at 6, so that's probably going to come on just over, probably as it went from 9. It was sat on 8 for ages. I've opened the door, had a look in there, all the ice has melted off the coil pretty much while it's been off. The thing with these things, a lot of them, it's going to fall off of there, is they shut the evap fan off with the compressor, so it can take a while for them to realise the room's warmed up. Anyway, I just put the set point. See if we can. I say it's 5. I don't know how to set it back up. That's the wrong way. We will go the other way. I play with this, so it's getting, I'm making it worse. Yeah. So, whoa. I'm trying not to get showing here again. Actually, I don't think it was a high-speed fan. Maybe somebody's. They usually have a high-speed fan on them. I'm not sure if it's got the right evap fan on there. No, mind you, I didn't see where the cable was joined, so it did look factory. Right. Okay, figured this out. If you run your fingers round anti-clockwise, it'll go down. If you run it round clockwise, it'll go up. I was just pressing it before, and it must have took that as being whatever, anti-clockwise.